Kababayan, thank you for sharing your Wednesday afternoon with us on Kababayan Today, where every so often we give you real estate update.
This Real Estate Buzz segment is brought to you by McLeod and Associates, a full-service real estate and mortgage firm. It's not about the number of homes we sell, it's about the difference we make in people's lives.
Miss Mia McLeod, hello once again, and welcome to Kababayan Today.
It's always good to be here.
Tagalog? Any Tagalog today?
Oh gosh, okay, I'm gonna use the same one. Magandang hapon po, and maraming salamat sa suporta ninyo.
See, I like that. At least you're making an effort. You know, the last time you were here, we talked to home buyers, common pitfalls in home buying, and you gave them tips on how to avoid those.
Yes.
Now we're gonna talk to home sellers, tips to sell your home for top dollar.
Top dollar, yes, and we are going into the summer market, so this is a great time. There's a lot of movement, so you want to come up with some strategies on how to get the top dollar.
All right,
for your bahay.
Ayan, see? All right, number one, price your home aggressively. What does that mean? What is aggressive pricing?
Well, okay, the price point of how you price that right out the gate is so important. It will really determine how quickly you can sell and if you could get top dollar. So do your homework. Check out what's going on in your neighborhood. What's active on the market? What's your competition? What has recently closed?
Right.
Pricing is so important.
And your second tip is actually use price points. How do you use price points?
Yes, because you have to say, let's say you list something at $327,000. You're probably better off if you can list it like 324 versus 327.
Okay.
Just because it will open it up to a lot of people that maybe their budget is 325, but they can still afford that range. So it's a little tricky concept, but we've seen it work.
Right.
Yes.
Offer a bonus to selling agents.
Yes, this is great. You can really get more activity, get the selling agents in. And
because the selling agent is more, what do you call it, incentivized.
Yeah, you could say something like, you know, if you sell my house within 30 days, if you're the seller, you sell my house within 30 days, you'll give the selling agent a $2,000 bonus.
Okay.
So it's going to get them to go into their database, check their buyers in the pipeline, and want to expose them to your property.
And it's related to the next tip, which is hire an aggressive listing agent. What is an aggressive listing agent?
Okay, you want to really not just get when you interview, not just get an agent that's going to put it online and then that's it. You just want to sit down, interview agents, see what kind of marketing plan that they have in place that can truly add value to getting your property top dollar. What kind of game plan do they have in place? What's specific or unique about that realtor that maybe some other realtors don't have? Don't just go for the cheapest realtor. I mean, at the end of the day, commission is only going to be paid if that property is sold. So if it never sells because you went with the cheaper agent, for example, then what's the point?
Right.
You know, you didn't get what you hired them for.
The next tip, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
that's
yes.
it. That's
the next tip, offer incentives and prepaids. What are those? What are some of the examples?
Okay, so for a buyer, or if you're a seller, you can tell the buyer, you know what? As a seller, I'm willing to help with $3,000 for your closing costs. I will credit you as a buyer to help with your closing costs. And if your market or a lot of the buyers that are looking at your property are young families, maybe first-time home buyers especially, every penny counts. Young families, first-time home buyers don't have a whole lot of money right out the gate, and so if the $3,000 that you can help will really go a long way.
Right. Next is stage the home and use curb appeal. I've seen people do this. Stage the home. Sometimes they bake something in the oven so it smells and
good.
Right,
Yes. So, well, there's so many ways you could stage the home. I mean, you could rearrange your furniture, maybe remove a lot of the clutter, less is more, bake cookies, make it feel very homey. Curb appeal is really great. People think it costs a lot, but it really doesn't. Maybe just pick up some yellow or red flowers at Home Depot, put them in the front. It really gives it a nice look.
Right.
Or maybe just paint the trimmings of the house. It's a very inexpensive fix, but it will add a lot more to your curb appeal.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. And another tip is use a pre-appraisal and pre-inspections. What does that mean?
Okay, this is really not a strategy that we use all the time. But sometimes if your property is a little bit trickier to price out or something like that, you could want to get an appraisal done before you actually list the property to really determine the price. And then you can use that as leverage when buyers make offers. And if they lowball, you could say, well, we just got an appraisal and it's actually worth this much.
Right. And so, and one final thing, if it's not working, change right away.
Change it, yes.
How much time do you give a selling agent before you decide to change?
I would say somewhere between 2 to 4 weeks. It depends on the type of property. Is this a higher priced property, or is this a property within the 200 to 400 range where there's more activity? So if, for instance, it's between 200 and 400 and you list the property, you're not getting a lot of foot traffic, then you're probably overpriced.
Right.
Or if you are getting a lot of foot traffic within those first few weeks, but you're not generating any offers, then that means there's probably something about the property itself that's not vibing with these buyers.
And if you have a good selling agent, they'll be able to direct you, right?
Yes.
Otherwise,
meet with your realtor on a regular basis, especially, and communicate with them all the time, especially throughout the entire process. Because if it's not getting the activity you like, then you're going to have to really sit down, strategize, and see what you can do to change that up.
And that's good for people to know, because then you're not married to your realtor. If it's not working, then, you know, you divorce.
Yes, well, you are in a binding contract, so you got to kind of exercise whatever your agreement is, but there's always ways you can negotiate with your realtor.
All right. Thank you so much to you, McLeod. They do offer free consultation, whether you're buying or you're selling. That's the number to call on the screen. Thank you so much. More power to you.
Thank you.
More from the show when we return. Don't go away.